Hello to everyone. So we'll be having a code demonstration of a specific problem. So the problem is to create a program in computing a salary using Java. So we'll be using NetBeans. So this is the problem. So you need to create a program for a company called Infosys that will calculate the gross income and net income of an employee. The salary period of an employee is 10 days, and the program must accept first the following. So these are the things the user need to, the values that the user needs to input. So employee ID, employee name, position, department, basic rate per day, number of hours late. And then employees of this company are entitled of the benefits. So SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig, or in PhilHealth it's PHIC. So these are the formulas needed to compute for the gross income. You need to get the product first of the basic rate, which is basically the basic rate per day of the employee, and then the number of days worked. So if we can see in the problem, the salary period is 10 days. So it is assumed that the employee worked for 10 days. However, okay, so then add it with allowance. So we can get the allowance by multiplying the basic rate of 12.5% and multiply it again with the number of days worked, and then tardiness needs to be computed. So based on the input, number of hours late is one of the input values, and then you multiply it with basic rate, divide it, and then benefits is equal to SSS plus PhilHealth plus Pag-ibig, and then total deductions is the sum of the tardiness plus the benefits, and then basically the net income is you deduct the total gross income and with the total deductions. So you compute the necessary information above, and this is an example output of the program. So what we need to do first, we will be creating first a flow chart for this. Okay, so of course the flow chart always starts with a terminal symbol or the oval symbol, and then based on our okay, just a sec. Okay, so based on our problem, we need to input this value. So I'll just copy this. So let's try to input. Okay, so let's try to apply a variable naming convention. So we always put we can use a camel case for variable name. It must start with a small letter. Okay, so position must have a small letter P, and in flowcharts and algorithms, you always separate the variables with comma. Okay, and then let's just call it as basic rate, and then hours late. Okay, none. Okay, so this is our input variables. Okay, and then we will be computing, or the program must compute the necessary the necessary values, which are the gross income, allowance, tardiness, benefits, total deductions, and net income. So we need to basically put a different process symbol, which is the rectangle, on each of the formulas, to emphasize that it's a different process. Hindi siya sabay pag-compute. And then, please take note that you cannot compute gross income without computing first the allowance. So we need to compute first the allowance and the tardiness, and then benefits, and then total deductions, and then the gross income, then net income. So we'll just copy this first, allowance. So you cannot basically write 12% of basic rate, because that in what do you call this, in programming, there is no such statement on that. So we need to so we assume that we already have defined the allowance variable, and then so we multiply 12.5% with our variable basic rate. So we need to use the asterisk symbol for the multiplication process, and then times basic rate. So we need to enclose it with our what to call this, with parentheses, and then there's no such thing as 12.5 and then the percentage symbol in programming. So we need to convert that into an actual number, integral number with fractional parts. So it is basically 0.125, so times basic rate, and then multiply it with number of days work. It is assumed that number of days work is already defined, so days work. Okay, so you can actually add it here to emphasize, but that is just an optional thing to do to initialize a variable with a specific value. So you can actually do that. So it's still a process symbol. So days work, again, this is optional, but you can do it with that. So 10, and then allowance, just ignore with the red lines, because this is just one feature in Word, so don't just mind them. And then we will compute. I'll just make it smaller to maximize the spaces. Okay. So we will be computing now the tardiness. Tardiness is number of hours late. So please remember that we need to have a small letter T for naming convention, and then our hours late variable is hours late with a big letter R, capital letter R, and then multiply it with basic rate, divide by 8. Okay, so after computing the tardiness, we will now compute for the benefits. Okay, so let's just benefits. So I forgot to include the input in the input box for the benefits. So basically it's for the SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig. So you just add it here. Okay. You just remove the dash, and then we'll compute for the total deductions. Sorry. Okay. So total deductions needs to be computed. So total deductions is tardiness plus benefits. So we, again, the naming convention must be applied. Tardiness and benefits. And then we will compute for the gross income. So the gross income is basic rate times the number of hours, days work, and then plus allowance. So again, naming convention must apply. So we just put it in a parentheses, use asterisk, and then we already have defined days work, then plus the allowance, which is computed already in the top. Okay, and then we will be computing the net income. So basically net income is the gross income minus total deductions. Okay, so again, naming convention must apply. So net income, gross income minus the deductions, total deductions. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to basically print the values. Okay, so you don't need to basically print this because it's already part of the process here. We can actually add one more output here to print. Yan. Meron bang flowchart? Yan. The hybrid symbol for output. We will just output yung calculating employee salary. So just make sure to print calculating employee salary. So it must be on top before the input because based on the process, you cannot basically input without proceed to input without printing the calculating salary text. So it needs to be before the input symbol. Yeah. Okay. And then so this is the print. Okay. Right. I want to change the size. Okay. So we will be printing now the results So you don't need to include in the hybrid symbol the message, the prompt message. So what you need to include in the symbol is, you can actually just write display display Infosys company. So if you want to add a /n in order to emphasize the you can put it /n for new line. Okay, and then print the employee ID and plus the name. So you can also print /t if you want to. Okay, again, that is not a requirement to put it in the hybrid symbol. And then for sales agent, so let's print a /n here. And plus sales agent, then you can add a tab character if you want to, plus the sales and marketing. This is sales agent is the position, sorry. So it's position and then department. And then you can add a /n. You can, it depends on your output. And then we will print basic pay. And then you can add a /t if you want to. And then the basic pay. And then plus okay. Allowance, just for allowance, and then allowance, and then gross income, and then tardiness, and then benefits. Mataas pala siya. So benefits is /t na lang dito, and then let's put na lang here for the SSS and plus /t. And then for the SSS, basically, so you can add a /t before the word SSS to create a tab space. This is for PHIC or PhilHealth. PHIC plus, and then for the pag-ibig, and then we will print total benefits. Okay, total benefits here. Okay, I forgot to put a /n on each. Yan. So dapat may /n for new line. So this is total benefits. Wait, what is the benefit? Benefits. Sorry, there's no total. Benefits plus benefits. Sorry, but this is a text. Total benefits. And then after that is total deductions. So, ano yung variable ng total deductions? Total deductions. And then lastly, the total net home pay. Total net home pay, and then net income. Okay, so you can put here like this. Yan. And then, so that is our output symbol, which is the hybrid symbol, which is basically represent the things you will output. And then make it smaller. And then the terminal symbol, because there are no other instructions here. It's just instructions on how to submit. So based on the program, so that is already the end of the program. So if it is the end of the program, you can put a terminal symbol at the end, so you can write exit or end if you want to, or stop. Okay, kasi nag-start tayo ng start, so we can put stop. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that is our flow chart. Okay, so we will now proceed on the coding, how to program this. Okay, so we'll be coding now in NetBeans the program, the salary computation salary, or let's just call it as payroll. So you can create a project in NetBeans. We'll be using a scanner class in order to get the input. You can have your own. You can decide on what input classes that you will be using. You can use the buffered reader class, or you can use the scanner class, or you can use the J option pane dialog boxes. Now in our case, I'll be using a scanner class. So needs to be imported. Okay, Java import Java that scanner. So we need to declare the scanner class first. So let's declare the scanner class. Scanner SA is equals to scanner system.in, and then I'll just copy the values, the variables here. Okay, so I will be declaring it as double since employee ID will be string. It is string basically because it doesn't have any manipulation on the employee ID, so you can just declare it as string. So position name is also string, position is also string, department is also string. The basic rate, I will declare it as double because in order to catch any fractional parts of the input, so it will be double. Same with the hours late, since it's hours, but there is a computation for a fractional part, my decimal value on the hours late. So however, it is assumed that hours late is in just a whole number, so let's just place it as integer. And then SSS will be in double because there are decimal values on it. Same with PHIC or the PhilHealth, and then pag-ibig also. So we'll be printing first the ano yung nakasulat doon, the calculating salary, calculating employee salary. So let's put a /t on it to produce tab spaces. Okay. Yeah. Let's put 3 tab spaces, and then we will be putting prompt message on each of the variables. So I will be using print so that the entered value will just be appended in the prompt message. So let's say, for example, enter employee ID. Okay, so it will just be appended, so the user will input in line with the prompt message, not on the next line. So we will be assigning it in employee ID variable, so sc that next line. So we'll be using next line because it's in string. Okay, I'll just copy this. So we will entering name, and then this will be name, and then position, so this will be position, and then this will be department. This will be department, and this will be basic rate, okay, basic rate per day. So since basic rate is in double, so we will be using next double for the basic rate variable, and then for the hours late, ano nakalagay? Number of hours late. Enter number of hours late. Number of hours late. Hours late. So since hours late is in int, so let's use next int, and then next will be the SSS contribution. So since SSS contribution is in double, we'll be using next double. So just copy this, and then for the PhilHealth contribution, since again PHIC is in double their data type, so we will be using next double. Same with pag-ibig, and we'll be using the next double. Okay, so we're already finished with the codes to input values. So we'll be needing to compute the allowance first. By the way, we need to declare the day's work here. So in day's work is equal to 10. Okay, so I'll just copy what is written in the flowchart. So allowance is equal to 0.125 times basic rate times day's work. Okay, so we'll need to declare also allowance here. So double allowance, double tardiness, ano pa ba? Double benefits, and double deductions, total deductions, and double gross income, and double net income. Yeah. So these are additional variables to hold the values that are computed. So for allowance, and then for tardiness is equal to hours late times the basic rate divide 8. And then benefits is the sum of the 3 benefits, SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig. And then total deductions is the sum of the tardiness and the benefits. And then gross income is the you need to get first the product of the basic rate and the day's work, and then add the allowance. And then the net income is gross income minus total deductions. So this is our computations, and then we will be printing these values. Okay. And just copy this. So we'll print first ito yung parang Infosys company, and then we will print down the ID number, so employee ID, and then we will add 2 double tab space plus the name, employee name, and then ano pala ang employee ID? Maliit yung B. We can add another /n here, and then we will print the position and the department. Position, department. So what I'm doing, I'm just copying the previous command and then edit it. And then basic pay, so we'll be printing a parang prompt message here. So I'll just copy the text written here and change lang natin ito. Okay, basic pay. Okay, you can just put /t here, and then no need to print /n kasi nga print ln na siya. So basic pay, and then allowance. So I'll just ano pala ang basic pay natin? Basic rate rather. Basic rate. Yung variable. So basic rate, and then allowance will be printed. So we'll write allowance, and then allowance variable does hold a value already, and then next will be the gross income. So the gross income. So sa ano pala, sa basic pay, meron siyang per day. May nakalagay na per day. Okay. So in gross income, let's put another 2 tab space. So 2/t. So tatlo lahat. And then let's put another /n here. Then tardiness. So we already have a computed tardiness stored in the tardiness variable. And then benefits. So sa benefits, we will display the 3 benefits first. Then, so as you notice, meron siyang tab space. So we'll write SSS. So tab /t, then SSS, then another /t, and then this will be SSS. So I'll just copy this. So this will be PhilHealth or PHIC, PIC, and then pag-ibig. So pag-ibig, and then total benefits. So I'll copy this. So I'll write total benefits. So basically, total benefits is the sum of all benefits. So the variable for total benefits is benefits, and then total deductions. So let's add here another /n, and then copy this. So total deductions is printed on the next column, I think. So let's put 3 /t after the total deductions text. So the variable is total deductions, and then the net income. So we can just arrange later after we get the actual output. We can arrange the placement of the /n and the /t in order to achieve the correct lining and the correct spaces provided. So this will be total net income. So net income. Okay, basic pay. So after pala ng basic rate, so yung gross income pala dito, sorry na mali ako. It should be gross income. Buti nakita ko. Gross income. Okay, I guess this is the output code for this program. So let's try our code. So we'll be running our code. So we'll be entering the ID given here. So let's try 19-918-A70, and then De La Cruz John. Position is sales agent. Department is sales and marketing. I hope you can see the larger font. Yeah. Let's make it larger. So basic rate is 945.50. Number of hours late is 2.5. So meron para tayong na mali tayo sa number of hours late kasi it needs to accept fractional part or decimal value. So let's not continue on running this instance of the program. So let's end it muna. Cancel muna the running of the program and edit our code. We will edit the days work. let's just edit base work, no? Para ano siya lahat? Double. So, our slate must be double pala. Did not notice. Okay? So, our slate is double. So, let's run again our program. Okay, let's go back on inputting the employee ID 9918870, De La Cruz John, sales agent, sales and marketing, 945.50 is the basic rate per day. Number of hours late is 2.5. Oh, sorry. We do have an error here because on our input here method, we use next in, but our slate is double. So let's change that into next double. So at least we know how to identify errors and how to debug these errors. Okay, so let's try to print again or to run again our file or our code. So 918A70. So basically, programming is a series of correcting errors. So don't get frustrated if you have an error. You just try to debug the error or correct the error. Just make sure that you can trace on what line there's an error and you know how to solve it. So our slate is 2.5. SSS contribution is 420.50. PhilHealth contribution is 150.33. Pag-ibig contribution is 278.60. So after entering the Pag-ibig contribution, it will display the output that we have created in the code. Hopefully it is correct. Okay, so this is the output. Let's try to analyze first the format of the output. So I think we need to put a /n here before or after the Pag-ibig contribution, and then yan. So I guess we need to, in order to align SSS PhilHealth and Pag-ibig, we will add another /t on all of the statements with /t, just to make it sure that it is aligned, because yung Pag-ibig medyo nagsobra siya. Ayan. Okay. Correct naman yung values natin, 9491.9725. Okay. So let's try to edit our code. Okay, we will put one /n here and another /t. So as I said, we will putting we will not put /t here. Dun lang sa basic pay. Another /t, another /t here, another /t, another /t here, /t, and then /t here, /t, and /t. So let's try also to discover how to display. We will format the gross income, the allowance, the tardiness, to make it into just 2 decimal places. 2 decimal places. Okay, I need to refresh. Okay, looking for a correct way to format the values. Okay. So we can use the decimal format class. Okay, so we'll be using a decimal format class. Okay, so let's try to explore on this. So it needs to be imported. Import java.text.decimal format. Okay, so we do have an object for our df. So in its constructor, you need to write a number sign, which is, it represents the whole number, then period, and then the two number sign represents that it will be formatted to 2 decimal places. Okay, and it will also round it off to the nearest hundreds. Okay, so we'll format. How to format df.format. So we will write in the allowance df.format. So let's try also to format the allowance and the gross income in printing. Sorry. Okay, ds.format for the gross income, and then sa tardiness ba meron? Yes, sa tardiness. We will also format tardiness. Okay, and benefits. I believe wala namang sa benefits. Sa ano na lang, total benefits. So df.format benefits, close the benefits, df format benefits, then df format total deductions, and then df format for net income. Okay, so what we did is basically format the those with double values, especially those computed double values, the allowance, gross income, tardiness, benefits, total deductions, and net income. We use the decimal format class that is imported from the text package of Java, and you just need to format it in the constructor. If you want to format it in 2 decimal places, you write number sign and then the numbers 2 number sign in order to force the formatting of the double variables are in. So let's try to run it if it is working. So we will run again our output 19 918 70 Cruz John, sales agent, and then sales and marketing. Basic rate is 945.50, and the number of hours late is 2.5. SSS contribution is 420.50. PhilHealth contribution is 150.33. Pag-ibig contribution is 278.60. Ayan. So, doon na lang sa pag-ibig, no? E naka-format na siya ng 2 decimal place. I don't know why, bakit yung total deductions is 1 decimal place lang siya. But it doesn't matter naman. Okay? So what you can do here is you can just explore on this, on how you format your output, and I guess that is the correct code for our creating a salary computation program in Java. So basically this is the instruction. I'll provide you the instruction first. Okay, you can pause it if you want to. Okay, and this is our code. And this is the output. Okay, thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something today, and you watch all the other videos in this channel.